A lot of Nest.js is built around a powerful TypeScript language feature called decorators. Decorators are simply functions that apply logic. Nest.js provides a set of useful param decorators that you can use together with the HTTP route handlers, for example, body, to extract the request body, or param to pick a specific request parameter. Additionally, we can create our own custom decorators. Let's imagine that for some reason, we want to retrieve the request protocol from within the route handler. Normally, we would need to inject the entire request object with the rec decorator into the method definition. However, this makes this particular method harder to test since we would need to mock the entire request object every time we try to test this method. In order to make our code more readable and easier to test, let's create a custom param decorator instead. To get started, let's open the common/decorators folder and create a protocol.decorator.ts inside. Now, inside of this file, let's make use of the utility function createParamDecorator imported from Nest.js Common to build our custom decorator. Since we're trying to find the request protocol for our decorator, we're going to need to retrieve it from the request object. We can retrieve this from the execution context we've seen in previous lessons with switch to HTTP and then calling getRequest. Afterwards, let's simply return request.protocol and we're all set. Great. Now to test our decorator, let's open up our Coffee's controller file and temporarily use it on the findAll method. Let's add a single console log within the method to log out this protocol parameter and see what it gives us. Let's just save our changes, navigate to Insomnia, and execute a get/coffees request to see everything in action. Now let's head back to VS Code and fire up our terminal. We could see HTTP, our protocol, was logged in the console. Great, it works. We can also pass arguments to our custom decorators if needed. In this instance, our protocol decorator is fully stateless, so there's no reason to pass in any parameters since there's nothing to configure. However, in more sophisticated scenarios where the behavior of our decorator depends on different conditions, we can pass the data argument into them. For example, let's say that we wanted to pass a default value to the decorator we just made. Let's just pass a string of HTTPS between the protocol parentheses. To access this value from within our param decorator factory, we can use the data argument, the first argument here we previously hadn't touched. To make our decorator more self-explanatory, let's change the argument name to default value and set it to type string for better readability and type safety. With this in place, now let's see if these values are actually coming into our decorator and add a single console log to log out this default value to our terminal. Again, let's make sure to save our changes, navigate to an Insomnia, and execute the same get/coffees request. Back over to our terminal again, we can see the default value HTTPS object was logged in the console. Great.